Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review, episode number 160. I had to make sure I get something of my mini anime I'm trying to catch up with. Yes. Now, this episode, I am discussing episode from the My Hero Academia anime, episode 137, A Young Woman's Decoration, and the 384th chapter manga. Now, this episode is the penultimate episode of the season because the very next episode, which has been released, this weekend, is the final episode of season 6. And who knows when we're going to have. I know that season 7 has been announced. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Do not know when it's going to release. So, basically, this episode, we do see. We start off with something interesting, though. Like, something that you probably would have thought that this would have been adapted a bit earlier. But no, they adapted it here. My guess is because they didn't want to interrupt the flow of the manga. That's my personal guess. Because basically putting it here means like, oh, we start off basically with Deku's, we see Class 1A, when they're talking to the principal about the security system. And it's a whole conversation, like, explaining sort of in detail about the shelter stuff. Basically, yeah, it's pretty accurate in manga. I kind of wish this was basically a bit earlier. I'm not sure why they put it here for. It would make a more chronological sense to put it like a couple of back. But nope, we had to put it here for some reason. I don't know why. So, we have the U.S. students basically get back there. And everybody doesn't like the fact Deku's there. Best Genius and Presmec are trying their best to basically convince people. They're not buying it. We do see in the episode President Mike trying to use a megaphone. Yeah, and the manga points out that his quirk doesn't require a megaphone. A megaphone, but he tries to use it anyways. So Ochaku takes the megaphone from him and floats right to the top. Now, they do add it in here, basically her arriving on the roof and basically walking toward toward the edge of the roof of the main building. And her pouring her heart out. And we do see in a flashback. Oh, by the way, they actually edited this episode here because this was actually not in the manga. We actually see a brief cameo about Chaku's parents. Yes. I'm like, that's a really cool addition. And Ochaku basically explained that Deku just there just to get rest. And it's a very good scene. And it's really accurate to the manga. We do see Koda and the Ordinary Citizen. Which, this is the first time I remember seeing Ordinary Citizen in the mangas. I kind of forgot about her first appearance. And of course, they're very happy to see Deku. And of course, she picks him up, gives him a hug. And basically, her conversation with him is pretty accurate in the manga. In fact, that no shows were accepted because of her appearance. Because she's a herbivore. So, you ate, except no problem. And they do explain why not the other school for him to go to for shelter. It was explained in the episode he would go through the same exact thing. So there's one guy who's got these weird things on his head. Now, they actually get this. The whole conversation, the whole scene with him, that's complete anime original because this guy did not talk in the manga. He is from the manga, yes, but his appearance was nothing more than a cameo. And they gave a no-name character some dialogue. Now, Funimation is not responsible for this. This is Studio Bones doing. Where he explains superheroes is that they're like on a platform. Where they're like actors on a stage. And, they went through with a script and stuff like that. It's a really good scene. And Deku's allowed to stay. By the way, we do see something else is basically an original. I don't remember seeing this in the manga. Deku's mom and Bakudo's mom together. Where Bakudo's mom basically is comforting her. Now, normally, here's the thing. Bakudo's hot mom, she's hot, that's 38 years old. She's not angry. Normally she's like her son, but not this time. No, apparently I don't know. Maybe these two are old friends, possibly because their sons are basically childhood friends. And of course, he's like. And of course, his mom, oh, my baby. It's an absolute really wonderful scene. I love the fact these characters are seen. Because in the case of Chaco's parents, the only time that these two were ever seen in the manga were in flashbacks. This is the first episode to actually feature her parents. Oh yeah, in case you're curious though, did they appear in the light novels, the school briefs? Yes, they were mentioned to appear for the first light novel, Parent Day. Though it would have been interesting enough for Deku to meet them. I personally would like it if he did. Mm-hmm. And of course, that goes out to stay. Then we see Endeavor, Hawks, and Shudo walk in. Everything's all calmed down. And then we have the episode end quite interestingly by seeing All Might, where he's walking from the UA and looking for vigilante groups. That is actually from the opening page of chapter 326, the third to last chapter of the Dark Hero arc. And the final episode of the season will be adapting that particular. It'll finish this arc. Yep. But yeah, this was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next up, we have the newest chapter of the manga, chapter 84. It's a Small World, where we have Giant Makia basically just, be under control. Shuushu, I think is Shinsu. So, he's basically causing ruckus. Hawk is basically like doing his thing, and of course, now it is explained the reason why that he's able to do this, because he actually heard a recording of All For One's voice. That's why he was able to do it. And of course, he read right here, caused a lot of ruckus. Mentioned person controls a person's heart. Looks like no one's on board with your grand tale, buddy. And then we see Mount Lady with a giant wrench, with Tokiyama's giant shadow pinning down the villains. We do see, it looks like some reporters. Looks like they're basically looking at Gentle Criminal's YouTube, a version of YouTube channel with actual live streaming. Yes, anybody can look at this and tell, yeah, that's YouTube. Well, basically the series version of YouTube. It's pretty much the same type of thing. Yes, basically both Japanese anime and American stuff do in fact use YouTube. Americans do, the movies do in fact sometimes use YouTube. Japanese usually have an equivalent to YouTube in their stuff. They probably won't refer to by name, but yeah, it's YouTube. So, you have Deku take on Todoroki. Look like he's decaying. And of course, the reporter's reporting on the whole thing. Like, I can't even call it journalism. It's more like addressing private grievance. It's basically a personal matter. Hey, the station closed down. We ain't getting paid anyhow. So yeah, when you get paid job, of course it's personal. And of course, there looks like the story we told, where the claim victor tastes defeat. And apparently it looks like, though, that the viewer count is going up. From, looked like it was 7,600, it's over 20,000. Maybe it was smaller. Wait, where's Japan again? Oh, that's where All Might's from. We can let them know. The story is not over yet. It is interesting, though, the fact they did this. It's like most of this chapter focused on a bunch of reporters. Yeah, bunch of reporters for like a good chunk of the chapter. We see a little Giant Makia and Hulk Boy versus reporters. This is different from last chapter. Last chapter focused on Pinky, now focused on reporters. Excuse a bunch of no-name characters. Okay. Can we get some names for these characters? Because I didn't see any names for these reporters. So apparently doing this for free. Then how they get the money? That's a good question. Yeah, the money in the series is kind of weird. Well, it's up flux right now. Yep. The chapter itself, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It feels a bit of a step down from last chapter, but it does feel like basically we're expanding on maybe adding some new characters to my hero, despite the fact this arc is slowly wrapping up. Now, I did hear, from what I heard, this series was supposed to wrap up 4 months ago. And from what I heard, the reason why that the writer himself suggested that was because of his contract with Shonen Jump. But it turns out that basically he was able to extend it so he was able to basically wrap the story. So, at this point, who knows? I mean, we're only at chapter 384. We are roughly 16 chapters away from chapter 400. Yes. Do I think it might reach 500 chapters? I do not know that. If in fact that's going to be. I have no idea. We'll find out soon enough. Okay, so that's a particular view. Next up, well, probably tomorrow this one because they're at 11 o'clock. So tomorrow, I have actually more time to basically work on. I definitely do both free. I got some reviews for that one. Maybe a Comic Corner along with reviews for One Piece and Eden Zero. Okay, next video. Bye.